conservative. Goldwater.
Mm-hmm.
Goldwater said it. But no, let's get Meat Loaf and Franklin back to back on the stage. I tune into that.
And Kanye West. So to Meat Loaf and Kanye West, we have this message for you.
Don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Boy, we just started out the year with a bang, didn't we?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and since we're in our Hammer Time segment, we got to go to our year-end awards for 2019. And we went to our listeners, and this is how the voting went for Douchebag of the Year for 2019. We took all 37 winners who had won weekly Douchebag Awards in 2019. Now, most of those candidates had only won once. There were some multi-time winners in there as well. We put it to a vote. We had the listeners give us their top 3 in order. We decided to do it that way. That was actually a suggestion of one of our listeners, Pat Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that there's a bill going through the Michigan legislature, House Bill 5281, that would put ranked choice voting in the ballots in Michigan. Isn't that something? Well, I doubt it'll see the light of day with the Republicans in charge. So, in any event, we asked for listeners to send your top 3 of the 37 candidates that we had listed on our Facebook page. I tabulated up the votes, and I kind of did it wrong at first. I assigned scores. A first-place vote was worth 3 points, a second-place vote worth 2, a third-place vote was 1. But then I looked into how ranked choice voting actually works, or runoff voting. And because we had enough first-place votes that it was a runaway, I went with that. So out of 37 candidates, 10 candidates received votes. 3 of those candidates received first-place votes. So we're going to go with the honorable mentions first. These were the candidates that they were tied for votes, but they did not get any first-place votes. And those 2 candidates were Betsy DeVos for everything that she's done, and the Kent County Democratic Party for not investigating Jeff Winston and not punishing him.
What a grouping.
And we'll get to
Betsy DeVos and the Democratic Kent County Party. I love it.
And so we're going to go right into our top 3.
So, drum roll.
I've got it all queued up. I'm ready this time. The third place for Douchebag of the Year 2019 with 1 first place vote, a total of 3 points, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Because she chided at progressives. Oh, I know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. So, yeah, Nancy Pelosi gets the bronze or the show, however you want to phrase it, depending on what sport you're in.
She's on the little tri-level, on the bronze level down there.
Yeah. Our second place, our runner-up for 2019 Douchebag of the Year, he had 3 first-place votes and a total of 17 points. Runner-up for Douchebag of the Year 2019, 3rd Congressional District Chair for the Michigan Democratic Party, Jeff Winston. Why? Because several weeks ago he won Douchebag of the Week for physically blocking one of our listeners, who is a retired school teacher, from holding a Bernie Sanders sign in front of a camera that was broadcast on live national cable television. And for being a bully. And by the way, I can say Jeff's a bully. I've been a victim of his. My opinion, he's a bully.
Second place, Jeff.
Can you believe it?
The silver.
And it was getting close in the points. But
yeah, this is democratic. This is an opinion, folks. These are the listeners' responses.
But then we have our winner. Now, he has set some records. 4 times this year he has won Douchebag of the Week. Nobody has done that in the nearly 8-year history of this show.
He's a douchebag phenom.
So, our winner for 2019 Douchebag of the Year, with
Hands down.
6 first-place votes and a total of 20 points, Donald Trump.
Donald J. Trump gets the gold.
Yep. And by the way, that's the second year in a row that Donald Trump has won Douchebag of the Year. And I believe that's also a record.
And, there's debates when you crown a national champion. There's all kinds of disagreement on who is the best politician in a decade. There is no grumbling and disagreement on the face of North America. Donald Trump was made for the Golden Douchebag Award.
Yep.
He was groomed for it. He is a natural. He is
He's a natural, all right. That's for sure.
Well done.
Oh, boy. So, for all of our winners, we have this message for you.
Don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
Jeff
exciting,
Winston,
Darren.
Donald Trump, Nancy Pelosi.
What a group.
Honorable mention, Betsy DeVos and the Kent County Democratic Party.
And our encouragement to Betsy and to Nancy and to Jeff, just keep striving.
Oh,
You could
God.
be on top.
Yeah.
You've got components. We see a proclivity. We think you could be there someday.
Yep. As a matter of fact, the other candidates who received votes that did not make honorable mention or the top 3 included Michigan State Representative Larry Inman
From
Traverse City, former Major League Baseball player Aubrey Huff, 1 Million Moms, Senate leader in the Michigan legislature Mike Shirkey, and Detroit news writer Nolan Finley.
Nolan Finney, who took his uneducated and ignorant jabs at Greta Thunberg.
Yep, absolutely.
Champion on this show.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, I want to wrap things up with this. And, we talked about Meat Loaf in our last segment here, saying the greatest brainwash, and there's no such thing as climate change. I think the people in Australia would beg to differ on that.
Oh, I would as well. Yeah, exactly.
But especially the people in Australia right now.
And I know it's hyperbole to say that's the real mark of absolute adjunct ignorance. What's going on in Australia right now is a picture of the future, and it is terrifying.
It is. Terrifying is a good word to use for that. You gave a stat to me yesterday on the phone. You said they said how many kangaroos have been wiped out from
Half
this
the
fire?
population.
They believe half of the population of kangaroos in the wild in Australia are gone.
Yeah, and the koalas are close to. They're saying after this fire, you'll only see a koala bear in a zoo.
Yeah. At this rate, at the rate it's going, and it's heartbreaking, Jack.
Yes, it is.
It's heartbreaking seeing these poor koalas. That one woman
I saw it.
ripped her shirt off and wrapped this koala that was burned and
Yeah, it's hard.
clinging to a tree. And the poor thing was crying as she was pouring water on it to soothe its injuries. There's video of people feeding water to koalas because their habitat's gone. There's nowhere for them to go. There was video that I saw on NBC Nightly News that kangaroos fleeing in droves.
Yeah, I saw that. People out on the beaches trying to stay alive. And, you can take your pot shots, you climate deniers, at Greta Thunberg, make fun of her all you want, call her autistic like Trump has, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. You just take a look at the heartbreaking scenes that Darren just described in Australia. The continent's on fire. It is on fire. The island is on fire, and the people, they've lost 18 people, I think, last count, thousands of homes.
Who cares about the people? I'm sorry. I'm just going to go right there. I don't give a damn how many people have been lost in this fire. I care about the animals.
I care about both, but here's the thing. You cannot deny that is related to global warming. You cannot deny that's an unprecedented tragedy. And forget all your pot shots at global warming, all the tree huggers and all that crap. It's in front page. You take a look. You can't deny it, global deniers. And you conservatives out there that want to say that because it got cold last week where you live in Montana, therefore it's look at Australia.
Yeah.
Who's the idiot that took a snowball into the Congress?
Jim Inhofe.
That's his proof that global warming's not real. Well, how does that match up with a whole, how many square miles? Hundreds of thousands of square miles. Worst ever.
We don't even have to go to Australia. All we have to do is look here in the U.S. at what has happened and the proof that there is such a thing as climate change.
And every year, the highest average temperatures worldwide beats the year before. And then next year, we'll beat this year.
Jack,
that's been going on for 4 or 5 years in a row.
Did we have a white Christmas in Michigan?
No, we didn't.
No.
I heard a woman speaking from, I think it was the Seychelles Islands. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
They're
underwater. They're underwater. Whole nation. These are nations out there in the oceans who are losing their homeland.
You know,
and Limbaugh stands down there. Oh, it's the biggest myth. It's a hype. They're just trying to tax the carbon people and make some money. Bull roar.
Just this week, we had snow. We had several inches of snow on Monday. I think we had about 7 inches in some spots. I don't know how much you got here.
About that. 4 or 5 maybe, a little less.
Yeah. Let's take a look out the window right now.
Great.
Is all that there? No, I see green.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's insane. This isn't normal, folks. This is not normal. And I'm going to keep saying, this is not normal. Fog in Texas. Did you see that truck that barreled through? There was a wreck on the highway, and then that semi came through and it was caught on camera.
Yeah.
This weather is just absolutely bonkers.
These images are absolutely terrifying.
But yet there's no such thing as climate change. Get real, people.
And like Greta says, listen to the scientists. Darren Gibson and Jack Prince aren't scientists. We're observing. We mix in some science and some empirical data and so forth. If you just listen to the scientists, you'll see how dire the situation is. It is the global number. Well, Trump is number one. He's the number one biggest concern and fear. But global warming is going to get us all.
It will.
Idiocracy, folks. Our planet is burning, and what are we doing? We're attacking Iran. It is idiocracy.
It certainly is.
It is Camacho Hamacho sitting in Washington.
It really is. There's really no other way to describe it. I don't know. I'm really worried about the future, not only of this country, but of this planet, at least as far as mankind goes. And that's the thing. Mankind has become so arrogant to think that we can do whatever we want and there's no consequences.
Yeah.
Well, this last hour has proved that there are consequences. I'm Darren Gibson.
I am Jack Prince.
Please be kind to each other.
The stations that carry Southpaws do not necessarily share the opinions expressed on the show. Southpaws is protected by the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and is copyrighted by Big D Entertainment. All rights reserved.